Hey everyone, I'm Xonani. Welcome to my new video. Today we will test out the Schmincke Horadam Naturals watercolors. This is the new paint series from Schmincke. You can get them in two different sets. The one I have here is the set with the plant-based pigments. You also get a mineral pigment set and a few more individual tubes and colors. All of the tubes are available individually if you only like one or two of the colors. And all of these paints are vegan. I also chose two more colors here. But first I wanted to know how the set works for itself. The colors in here are Curcuma, Meadow Lake, Indigo Ferra, Dyer's Green and Steel de Grain. That means you have all you need for mixing a yellow, a red, a blue, a green and a brownish tone. The other tubes I bought are Dragon's Blood and Lalva Red Violet. A more intense red and a nice violet grayish brown. Let's swatch them and mix them with each other to check out what colors you get from mixing. If this set is enough or if you need more colors. Before I will fill them in this small palette here, I want to know how easy they reactivate after drying. So I will work from a ceramic palette here. Perhaps you ask yourself, what about the light fastness? Our paints have natural, in this case plant-based pigments. Normally the plant-based pigments are not as light fast as the mineral-based pigments. For example, we have the range of 4 stars here. 4 stars means very light fast, 1 star not very light fast or not light fast. Steel de Grain has 2 stars, Curcuma and Dyer's Green 3 stars, Indigo Ferra and Meadow Lake are very light fast with 4 stars. Perhaps it would be a good idea to hang the swatches in my window for a few months. We will see. The first thoughts I had to the paints are you need more paint as you would need from other Schmincke Horadam paints from the regular series. The paints are much more transparent as the other Horadams. The paint doesn't flow a lot. You have to push the pigments on the paper where you would like to have them. And you get this blotchy look. Not a consistent color application. Only one of these colors are very consistent. Steel de Grain. This also is my favorite color of the set. Love this green, brownish, yellowish color. It reminds me to the transparent green gold, which I love from Schmincke Horadam. But I think it is because of the paper here, the blotchy look. This is the Etcher sketchbook with hot pressed cotton paper. Later I will test them on cold pressed cotton paper as well. And on the cold pressed one, they are much more beautiful. We will see later. I also like these earthy tones. The Meadow Lake looks awesome. And the indigo also has this earthiness in it. It's so beautiful. You can mix a lot of awesome greens with this set. I can imagine taking them with me for green sketching. They are perfect for forest scenes or leaves and moss. I will definitely do this. I see trees, moss, soft hills, mountains, but it is impossible to mix a nice violet with them. The mix between red and blue looks more like a grayish earthy violet, what also is a beautiful color. It remembers me on misty mornings or nice shadow areas in the forest. You can mix a lot more different tones with them, and I think these nature tones are very inspiring. The two other colors I picked individually are Dragon's Blood and Lalvarit Violet. I also wanted to know which mixes are possible here with the second red and the nice shadow color. And I love the mixes, especially with the Lalvarit Violet. And here you can see that the still de grain on the left is the only color without any visible brush strokes. After drying, this color is insanely beautiful. What do you think? I had to also swatch them on cold pressed cotton paper. I immediately had a different feeling on this cold pressed one. The flow is better, there are no blotchy areas. They just look better on this paper. You can also see a soft granulation, especially on the Dragon's Blood. I will test a different hot pressed cellulose paper as well in a few days. I will share more experiments with my patrons soon. But before we paint an artwork, we compare the naturals to other Horadam watercolors. Here my favorite one, also one of my favorites in my general Schmincke palette, the transparent green gold. It is similar to the still de grain. It looks a bit less earthy and more cold as from the natural pigment set. The Dyer's Green Instant reminded me to the green earth. It is also very transparent like Dyer's Green. And look at the indigo. The one from the nature set is not as dark as the normal Horadam indigo. I can't find a similar blue here on the swatch card. The Madder Lake is totally different to the Madder Red, dark and deep. It's more similar to Madder Brown. I love this color. Curcuma definitely looks like cadmium yellow deep. The Lalvarit Violet is a warmer version of the sepia brown, something in between sepia brown and sepia brown reddish. Interesting. Okay, let's create a little piece of art to find out how a painting will look on this hot pressed paper. For the sketch, I'm using a brown Colorase pencil from Prismacolor. I will test wet and wet for the background layer. The paints don't want to flow over my paper. I have to pull the pigments and you can see every brush stroke. This is a bit annoying, but I love the colors, how they mix and stand next to each other. I have the feeling this is not the right paper for these paints. It is dry now and I'm not happy with the result. I will try a little painting also on the cold pressed paper. Also, the paints dried in the palette. They reactivate very easy, so I can fill them in my tiny outside palette. And again, I'm starting here with a wet and wet background. Can you see this? The paint flows more and you get this very soft, nice gradients. It's a lot better than on the hot press paper. This is definitely good to know. The other one already looks cute. I'm curious how it will be in the end. Glazing is so much fun here. Next layer on the cold pressed. As you can see at the swatches on the right, I tested if you can lift up the pigments after drying. The paints are all non-staining. You can easily lift them up again. On this paper, everything looks so smooth and fine. It's a crazy difference between both paintings. Now I will use the Derwent Drawings to finish the pieces. These cool pencils also have earthy tones and look perfect with the Schmincke Naturals. I tested them in another video, perhaps you would like to watch. I link it for you, of course. We are almost done here. I hope this video was helpful and you enjoyed the swatching, the mixing and the painting. This is all I can tell you about this new paint series, the Schmincke Horadam Naturals. I really like the earthy colors, they are special. On cold pressed paper they flow nicely, but not as much as the regular Horadam. I will make a few more tests the next days. All in all, I really like these paints and I can't wait to go green sketching with them. You can mix the most beautiful greens, I love it. Perhaps there will come a second review video about these paints to tell you all my future knowledge. We are not at the end on this point. If you would like to watch a second video about the Schmincke Naturals, tell me in the comments so I know. Thank you so much for watching and a special warm thanks to my patrons, you all are awesome. Then have a wonderful week my friends, see you next time, stay creative, yours Xunani.